Holy fuck, she didn't warn me ahead of time. Julianne is here. Julianne. Oh, honey. I just have to tell you something really fucking important, okay? You're not a bad mom. You were cursed by your fucking name. Because you'll never guess what my mother's name is. Julianne.
Oh my God.
So, if you're named Julianne and you have a daughter, she's going to be a loud, obnoxious cunt. You did nothing wrong, sugar. You did nothing wrong. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Sorry, I had to start with that. I had to. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but fucking marriage and reproduction was not part of my life plan. I was kind of slutting it up through my 20s. I was ready to just do serial monogamy until I died. I don't know how many Idahomies are in the audience tonight, probably a lot. We all, it's pretty conservative and religious. I was a bridesmaid 6 times the summer after I graduated from high school. I was like, I'll never get married. And then, as was typical in a religious environment, less than a year later, here came a baby. I will never have a baby that soon after I get married. Yeah. 10 years later, I got married, and 9 months and one bang after my wedding day, I shot out a son. Needless to say, I don't say I'll never do shit anymore because obviously I'm cursed, just like your name, sugar, just like your name. There's things that are not your fucking fault. And adult women, we know men are different. We know that this thing is really fucking important in their lives. Dare I say, it's the center of their goddamn universe. This still doesn't prepare you to raise up a man. You just don't fully process it until you raise a boy. I had my moment of enlightenment in the bathtub with my son when he was 3. A lot of boys go through this phase. They twist that wiener about 8 times. And they let it go like those cheap rubber band propeller airplanes. And then they go, the way some of you are laughing, you probably still do. It's yours, that's fine. Do what you want. And then they go and do it again. I don't have one. I'm like, hey, honey, be careful with that. You're going to want to use it for other things later. You might break it. But I was like, this is a time to start sex education. And I said, son, that's your penis. And he said, penis! And twisted it, and I said, stop that. Not in front of your mother, please. And I said, that's a penis, and mom has what? And he goes, no penis! And I said, no, mom has a vagina, mom has a vagina. Boys have penises, girls have a vagina. I went, Stop. Okay, what is that? My penis! Yes, because you're a what? Boy! Good job. And girls have what? No penis! No, we covered this. It's a vagina. It's a vagina. Pop quiz, one more time. What is that? Penis! And what do girls have that boys don't? You sat there for a minute. Boobies? No, son, but you'll get it. You'll get it eventually. And then, 7 years later, because there's no better birth control than already having a kid. Trying to have that time, and there's a toddler knocking on your door. What are you doing? Open the door. You don't love me. Ugh. Try to come when a 2-year-old crying outside of your door. It's just a mood killer. I had a daughter, so now I have a match set. A girl and a boy. And I'll tell you what, girls were a breeze up until about 13. Oh, fuck. You know, my dad raised 5 daughters, and he had this advice. At 13, their brains fall out, and if you're lucky, they come back by the time they're 21. He wasn't lying. You should listen to your dad. And I've since gotten divorced. Yeah. Premenopausal and a teenage daughter. There's always crying and screaming in my house. Always. It's so bad, we just had to designate cry time. Like, you're allowed to just cry in my house. You just have to declare it. I'm just crying because. There's also a lot of fighting and... But she's definitely my daughter. I was getting ready to roll out one night, and she was kicking off a fight with me, and I was like, listen, Spawn of Satan, I've had about enough of you. She's like, you called it, I know who my mom is. To motherfucking Shay, bitch. To motherfucking Shay. So yeah, I'm over 50, and I'm divorced, and yeah, that's fun, especially with a teenage daughter. There's nothing creepier, dudes. Don't ever say this. I love children. Nobody loves teenagers. Nobody. Okay, that's not true. Your mama loves teenagers. The mama loves teenagers, but a lot of times I don't like her. So don't look at me and say, you love my teenage daughter, Jeffrey Epstein. We're not going anywhere with that shit. Which means I am very alone, very single. I am so happy alone. I'm over 50 and divorced, and you know what? I have exactly 0 cats. Oh yeah, that says something. I got brave. I redecorated my bedroom with a flashing neon sign that I stole from a gas station. It just slowly goes, self-service. Only. Self-service. Only. Yeah, I like it that way. And I hang with these other single people, and they just reinforce it. I was with a homie of mine who's over 50 and single, and he was like, yeah, I'm tired of fucking these grannies in there with their pancake titties. Pancake titties, that's a bold statement. I used to be over 300 pounds, and I aggressively breastfed 2 children. I wish I had pancake titties. My titties are so loose and floppy, they're more like a non-Newtonian fluid at this point. I have to go to sleep with a sports bra. If I don't have a sports bra on, I'll wake up with a titty wrapped all the way around my body 3 times, nipple up my ass, I have to untangle, get out of, it's just awful. And then over the summer, one of my sweet little girlfriends was like, going braless is a whole big fashion statement now. You should go out in public braless. Go out in public braless my ass. Women my age lose titties to cancer. My titty will wander off and start booking flights on kayak. I'll lose a titty to curiosity and boredom. My titty's like, I'm sick of this bitch. We never get played with. They never go in nobody's mouth. She never let us do nothing. That's men, older men. And then people are like, well, why don't you try a younger man? You know. One of those little whores that are trying to punch their MILF ticket. Ew! Gross! Nobody that could have fallen out of these mud flaps should be trying to sneak on up in them. That's disgusting. That is so nasty. And then, have you ever talked to younger men? Oh my God, they're a lot like the pockets in women's dress slacks. Really shallow, kind of useless, in fact, completely cosmetic. So I promise you, if you ever catch me with a 22 in my mouth, it's going to be a fucking caliber, not a person. I think I got on this show because so many of the comedians are like, they judge my parenting based on how I parent them. Let's face it, you parent crazy comedian adults entirely different than you do children. One of them has a problem, and I'm like, oh, come to Mom's house and we'll have a cup of tea. We'll just sit at the table and have a little cup of tea. Yeah, newsflash, my cups of tea are laced with a lot of psilocybin. Come on, baby, we're gonna summon some demons tonight! You thought you had problems before, you're gonna discover you had more than you thought. This is speed therapy, you stupid whore! It's important. Speed therapy is important. So, So you might think at this point I hate men. I see some young men in the audience. Ladies, we're gonna educate some motherfuckers tonight. I'm gonna need you. You'll know when you need to pipe up. Young men, let me tell you something about your dick. You worry about the size of it way too much. All right, ladies, this is where we're going to testify. If she loves you, whatever you got is enough. Ladies, can I get an amen? Amen! If she likes you, whatever you got is good enough. Can I get an amen? Amen! If she thinks you're okay, not gonna lie, you better be at least average or bring some game. But if she hates you, and more accurately, if you have done something to earn her ire, here's the facts, gentlemen. You can have a cock so long that you have to tuck the tip and the top of your tube socks in the morning for safety. And so thick it looks like a bodybuilder's bicep. And if she has gotten angry with you, here's what's going to happen on any given Friday night. She's going to be out with her girlfriends just tearing your ass down. He never puts down the toilet seat. He doesn't know how to wipe his ass. There's always skid marks in his underwear. He only calls his mother on Mother's Day. And at the end of it, she'll be like, and on top of it all, he's got a little dick.
It's because they twisted it 8 times.
You think so? No, sweetheart. No, sweetheart. This is not what we learned. We're trying to educate the young men, gray hair.
4 turns out of mine.
Okay. What we have learned, young men, it's not how much of a dick you have, it's how much of a dick you are. Yeah. Truth. So now we're getting into the really crazy stuff. I see some silver hairs. I don't know how many of you are single. God damn it. Dating in your 50s, It's exactly like shopping for a jigsaw puzzle at a thrift store. They're cheap. You can get a lot of them. You can just stack them up in your basement and let them gather dust. Nobody's gonna notice. But I guarantee you there's gonna be some fucking pieces missing. Lots of pieces missing. And then on top of it all, when you assemble the puzzle, the picture you end up with doesn't match what was on the box. I bought a basket full of kittens. And what I ended up with was an emotional tornado tearing apart my personal trailer park. Not good. Not good at all. I know. It's just really rough. I totally derailed my own train of thought with that. I've had a lot of head traumas. I've had some strokes. Who here has had a stroke? I see enough gray hairs. I remember my first stroke. It was lovely. I was at work, thank God. I was at work, standing there with one leg locked, and it wasn't like my leg went numb. It was like I'd never had a leg in my entire life. And I fell down. And I went, what the fuck? Well, at least that's what I thought I said. Anybody here ever seen Young Frankenstein? Yeah. What my friend said is I sounded a lot like the monster. Put on Ritz! Thank God somebody had the sense to call an ambulance. I went to the hospital, and they were like, "You've had an event. We need to do something right away. We can give you, if we give you these blood thinners and we're wrong, you could die. But if we're right, it can make you able to talk again. Do you understand?" And I said, "Put on Ritz!" And I recovered completely. Can you tell? Can you tell? Not really. I really want to talk about my ex-husband, but he says I talk about him too much. He said, "I wish you wouldn't talk about me." And I was like, "I wish I didn't have to." Everybody makes mistakes. He's married again, and it's great. It's great. When he was dating this girl, and I don't understand these women that get jealous of the new girl. Like, when I'm driving down the highway and I happen to throw some garbage out the window, if I drive further down and I see the people in the little orange vests picking the trash up, I'm not, "Fuck that bitch! Fuck that bitch for picking up that trash!" I'm like, good way to serve the community. Because she's nice to my kids, and they love her, and they think she's great, and she's with that guy. God bless her heart. God bless her heart. She's just the sweetest little thing. I'm so happy for them. So, yeah, dating these older men, yeah, it's rough. Especially this age category. Y'all remember those 80s rom-coms? You remember them 80s rom-coms? Where when the girl said, "I'm not interested," it meant try harder. Cute in the 80s. In 2023, that's very rape adjacent. That's very rape adjacent. It's very upsetting, and they don't seem to be getting the memo. I was dealing with one of these gentlemen once, not that long ago, and he decided to try a clever tack. This is what passed for clever for him. He's like, "Tanya, I know you're a nerd. I know you like games. You pick the game, and if you win, I'll leave you alone. But if I win, we fuck." I didn't have to think more than a second before I said, "Russian roulette!" Because with that game, either way, I win. If you take the bullet, you're dead, and I don't have to listen to your happy horseshit anymore. But if I take the bullet, then you're stuck pumping away at my slowly cooling corpse. My name is Tanya Cope, but my friends have shortened that to Taco. You have a good night, friends.